Okay, we now take a start with IELTS speaking part 1. In IELTS speaking part 1, we actually call it introduction. In this part, examiner will ask you some questions on familiar topics. Familiar topics means these topics are going to be related to you, your lifestyle, your family, your hometown, your education, and all that. In the beginning, examiner will ask you one question, and that question is, do you work or study? Now, if you are a student, you can say, I study, and at the moment, I'm doing a diploma in whatever it is, right? Or if you don't study, you are doing a job. So you can say, I'm a professional banker, and at the moment, I'm working with ABC Bank and all that, right? And if this is the third case, for example, you can say, I've recently completed my studies, and these days, I'm preparing for IELTS. Or otherwise, you can say, I am a stay-at-home lady and I take care of my family. Now, examiners ask this first question, and this is the same question they ask everybody. The purpose is so that they could categorize you, and then they could ask you appropriate questions, right? I mean, if you are a stay-at-home lady, housewife, they will not ask you professional questions. If you are a professional, they will ask you questions which are related to job and all that stuff. So this first question should be answered very well. Now, next thing is how to answer. In order to answer the questions, you should have your personal format, and that format should vary because questions will be asked in present tense, past tense, future tense. Some questions will be asked with do you, sometimes how often do you, when do you, where do you, why, how, when, where, why, what, how long. So you should, the first thing is, two things you need to understand about the question. Now I'm talking about understanding the question. There are two things which you need to understand about the question. The first thing is the tense of the question. If it is do you, present tense. If it is did you, past tense. If it is will you, future tense, right? Second, you need to see what is the question and try to answer the question directly in the first sentence of your answer. Try to use variety of words, different words, but you have to answer the question directly. For example, if they say, how often do you go for morning walk? How often means frequency. So either, and one more thing, it's not that you have to answer every question positively in IELTS. How often do you go for morning walk? Well, actually, I never find time for morning walk. In fact, I go to bed very late at night. Therefore, I find it very difficult to get out of bed in the morning. That is why I never go for morning walk. That's it, right? How often do you go for morning walk? And you say, morning walk? No go. Sleep. Not like this, okay? Yeah, no go, sleep and all that. You just need to give full answer. Whether your answer is positive or your answer is negative, you have to give a full answer. Full answer means with reasons for your answer. So you can comfortably answer any question in IELTS speaking using this three-step formula. Step 1, answer the question directly so that you realize what the question is. Otherwise, you know what do the students do? They start their answer. After 3-4 sentences, they say, what was the question? They forget the question. So that is why answer directly so that you understand the question. After that, elaborate your point in 2 to 3 sentences. And then finally, we've got one sentence conclusion. In order to conclude your answer, you can say, to answer your question, I never go for morning walk. Or as you have asked me, so I never go for morning walk. To answer your query, I hardly go for morning walk. I hardly go, I never go, and all that. You can just say it like that, okay? Now, I'm going to come to you. I'll ask you a number of different questions, and you will have to answer. And just use this 3-step formula, and don't be afraid, right? Just be all right. Okay, thank you. Finally, huh? Okay, let's take a start. All right, do you work or study?
I'm a student.
What do you study?
I'm a graphics designer.
Okay.
Right.
Now, you got to elaborate a little. What do you study? So.
I'm a designer and I have done my master's from Punjab University.
Good. What do you like about your studies?
Paintings, designs, and other things.
Listen, your answer should be in sentences. You said
Right.
paintings, designs, and other things. We call this thing signpost language. First of all, I like paintings because. Secondly, I also like designing because. And finally, I like and then. This is called signposting. So you should signpost your answer, right? What do you like about your studies?
I like design because there is a lot of variety. That's why I like it.
Okay, this answer is short. You just need to add a couple of sentences to this answer, right? Okay, let's go on. What was your favorite subject when you were at college?
My favorite subject is
Now,
color.
see, my question is, what was your favorite subject when you were at college? Which tense is it? Past
Past.
tense.
Past
So when I
tense.
was at college, my favorite subject was like that.
Okay, when I was in college, my favorite subject is drawing.
Was.
Was drawing because there is number of lines. You can study the lines and other things.
Okay, so that is why when I was at college, drawing used to be my most favorite subject. One sentence conclusion. Understand? When you guys are going to be here, आपके साथ भी ऐसा ही होगा. Confusion and all that. Okay? All right, no worries. Let's go on. Would you like to study any new subjects in the future?
Yes, I would like to the further the steps of the designs and the other subjects that I was like.
That I used to like in the past, so I would like to study more about them and then be specific. For example, would you like to study any new subjects in the future? You should talk about the subjects. I would like to learn more about calligraphy because when I was at my university, I couldn't learn more about it, so I would like to study calligraphy, especially something like that.
Right.
Clear? You'll be
Yes.
fine. I mean, it's going to take some time and you're going to be all right. Now, let's
Inshallah.
ask her some questions, okay? Yeah. All right. Do you work or study?
I'm working lady.
Okay, I'm a working lady, and then you can tell us about your profession.
Okay. I'm a banker.
All right. Now listen, never make simple sentences. Simple sentences will give you simple band. Simple band is 5 band,
Oh.
right? I'm a working lady, I'm a banker. So, for example, do you work or study? Well, at the moment, I am doing a job in a bank, so I am a professional banker.
Okay.
Something like this. Connect your ideas together. Instead of making small sentences, make conversations, like
Okay.
that. Okay, let's go on. What do you like about your job?
I like
Listen up. You don't have to think what you like about your job. If you hate your job, so how can you say what you like about your job? This is what we call pretending. Pretending. What you like about job? I like the working environment. You know, bank job is a white collar job and we've got very good working environment. Especially my colleagues are very friendly and cooperative. So these are the things I like the most. Yeah, you don't like your colleagues, you don't like the environment, but actually you are pretending. So this is
Okay.
what we call pretending. You always pretend good answers. Don't think what I like about my job. No. What people may like about their job, you can talk about that, right? Now, let's
Okay.
go on. Would you like to change your job in the future?
yes,
Why?
because banking is very tough for female especially.
Good.
Yes.
Now, this answer is short. For example, would you like to continue with this or would you like to change your job? Yes, I would prefer to change my job in the future because, first of all, banking is quite difficult job for females.
Females.
On the other hand, it's a very long job, especially when we have audits, we have to stay until late at night. Therefore, I would like to do a different job, something like that.
Okay.
There should be reason. I mean, you have to be a little talkative. Because if you speak, examiner will give you the band score.
Okay.
And if you don't speak, would you like to do a different job? Yes.
All right.
Right? I mean, how can examiner gauge your
Okay.
English and all that, right? Now, I ask you another question. What was your ideal job when you were a student? Past tense. What was your ideal job when you were a student? When I was a student, I wanted to become a doctor. I'm answering without thinking. This is an ideal answer. I mean, you can say, when I was a student, I wanted to become a pilot, right? So some
Yes.
pilots turn into aeroplanes later. So, but anyways, that's something different. So, what was your dream job when you were a student?
When I was
When I was a student,
when
I wanted to become
I wanted to become a banker, but
Then why are you not
no.
happy with this job, huh? What happened now? Now you realize it's a difficult
Yes.
job. Okay, let's go on. What do you do in your free time?
Free time, I'm listening music.
In my free time,
my free
I
time,
listen to music.
I listen to music and reading books.
reading books is not proper sentence. Subject, verb, object.
Okay.
Right? And sometimes I also read books in
books.
my free time because I like, then you can talk about type of books you read
Yes.
and all that. Right? You're a bit nervous and puzzled, but don't worry, you'll be
Okay.
fine. Okay?
Okay.
Good job. Thank you very much. Okay,
Okay,
for
thank
now.
you.
Thank you. Right.